I'm Mitt Romney.
So what's up, B?
This morning I spoke with a number of students here at the University of New Hampshire. Like young people all over the country, they wonder whether they'll find good jobs when they graduate. Last week in Nevada, I walked through a neighborhood with homes vacant or in foreclosure. Unemployment there is over 13%. Across the nation, over 20 million Americans still can't find a job or have given up looking. How has this happened in the nation that leads the world in innovation and productivity? The answer is that President Obama's policies have failed. He and virtually all the people around him have never worked in the real economy. They just don't know how jobs are created in the private sector. That's where I spent my entire career. In 1985, I helped found a company. At first we had 10 employees. Today there are hundreds. My work led me to become deeply involved in helping other businesses, from innovative startups to large companies going through tough times. Sometimes I was successful and helped create jobs. Other times I wasn't. I learned how America competes with companies in other countries, why jobs leave, and how jobs are created here at home. Later, when I served as governor of Massachusetts, I used the skills I had learned in 25 years in business to streamline state government, balance the budget every year, and restore a $2 billion rainy day fund. $2 billion rainy day fund. From my vantage point in business and in government, I've become convinced that America has been put on a dangerous course by Washington politicians, and it's become even worse during the last 2 years. But I'm also convinced that with able leadership, America's best days are still ahead. That's why today I am announcing my exploratory committee for the presidency of the United States.
Let me speak very directly and candidly about where I stand.
I will be a pro-life president. I believe that abortion should be safe and legal in this country.
We do have tough gun laws in Massachusetts. I support them. I won't chip away at them.
Now, as governor, I worked closely with the NRA and the Gun Owners Action League to advance legislation that expanded the rights of gun owners in my state.
When the federal government expands at the kind of rate it's expanding, buy car companies, bail out banks, we have every good reason to be alarmed and to speak our mind.
We didn't waste a lot of money right then. That was an investment made to try and keep a collapse of our entire financial system from occurring. So I like mandates. The mandates work.
Beg your pardon?
Here let me,
I didn't know you were going to admit that.
The federal Constitution does not allow for mandates to be provided by the government. Oh, absolutely.
You like mandates?
Let me tell you what kind of mandates I like, Fred, which is this. If
the ones you come up with.
I'd be proud to have your support again as I campaign for president.
What is your greatest personal failing, and how have you attempted to deal with it?
One of the challenges of life in this society today is the burden of occupation. And I've been very busy in my work. I have a wonderful family. I'm very busy there. But you'd grow too far apart from the people you care about. And that's, after all, how we're going to be judged in this life, what we've done for other people. And so I spent 2.5 years at the early part of my life living with the poor and serving with the poor. And when I came here to Massachusetts, we decided that one day each week I would give in service to people less fortunate than myself. I've spent hours and hours, hundreds of hours in hospitals across the state, from Worcester to Boston, working with sick people, talking to them, consoling them.
Mr. Romney, can I interrupt you? This was a question about your greatest personal failing.
My greatest...
Now, jihadism and what we're dealing with here is a lot greater than just borders. It's a lot greater than Israel and Palestinians. It's a lot greater than just people living in Al-Qaeda. This is Sunni and Shia, it's Hezbollah, it's Hamas, it is Al-Qaeda, it's the Muslim Brotherhood. It's financed by countries that don't even know they're financing it in some cases. It's preached to millions of people. It's broadcast to the masses. It's taught in schools in scores of nations.
and it is devastating to civilization. Its objective, as you know, yeah, first of all, let's make sure that we understand that the key in electing the next president is to find somebody who will make sure that that scenario doesn't ever happen. And the key to that is prevention. We've all spent a lot of time talking about what happens after the bomb goes off. The real question is, how do you prevent the bomb from going off? And that's what I spent my time doing as a governor over the last 4 years and serving on the Homeland Security Advisory Council. And that means intelligence and counterterrorism. Now, we're going to have, you said the person's going to be in Guantanamo. I'm glad they're at Guantanamo. I don't want them on our soil. I want them in Guantanamo when they don't get the access to lawyers they get when they're on our soil. I don't want them in our prisons. I want them there. Some people have said we ought to close Guantanamo. My view is we ought to double Guantanamo. We had to make sure that the terrorists and there's no question but that in a setting like that where you have the ticking bomb, that the President of the United States, not the CIA interrogator, the President of the United States has to make the call, and enhanced interrogation techniques have to be used. Not torture, but enhanced interrogation techniques. Not torture, not torture, not torture, not torture, not torture, not torture, not torture.
Liberal Viewer presents.
So, given his previous statements, I wasn't expecting Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney to be a big civil libertarian. After all, in the last Fox News-sponsored debate in May, Romney announced this plan.
Some people have said we ought to close Guantanamo. My view is we ought to double Guantanamo.
Yet, despite this previous Romney rhetoric, I was still somewhat surprised to hear Romney in last night's debate, after saying he would follow the law, go on to say,
and if it means we have to go into a mosque, to wiretap, or a church, then that's exactly where we're going to go. Because we're going to do whatever it takes to protect the American people. And I hear from time to time people say, hey, wait a second. We have civil liberties we have to worry about. But don't forget, the most important civil liberty I expect from my government is my right to be kept alive.
Now, while we all want the government to keep us alive despite the threat of terrorism, that's not enough to support Romney's claim that such protection is a civil liberty. In fact, if you look up the term civil liberty in the Merriam-Webster online dictionary at a link in the video description, you'll find that a civil liberty is defined as, quote, freedom from arbitrary governmental interference, as with the right of free speech, specifically by denial of governmental power, unquote. So Romney was wrong to claim the right to be kept alive despite the threat of terrorism is somehow a civil liberty, and that's in addition to the substantive problem of calling that right the most important civil liberty, debating in a state with the motto, live free or die. Which leads me to ask, shouldn't someone running for the office of President of the United States know what civil liberties are? And on the bigger question raised by Romney's misstatement, in a country founded in part on the slogan, give me liberty or give me death, aren't there at least some liberties worth dying for? YouTube, you decide.
I believe the Bible is the Word of God, absolutely. And I try to live by it as well as I can, but I miss it in a lot of ways. But it's a guide for my life and for
hundreds of millions, billions of people around the world. I believe in the Bible.
Does that mean you believe every word?
Yeah, I believe it's the Word of God. The Bible is the Word of God. I mean, I might interpret the word differently than you interpret the word, but I read the Bible, and I believe the Bible is the Word of God. I don't disagree with the Bible. I try and live by it.
Look, one thing you can know, and that is if we re-elect Barack Obama, Iran will have a nuclear weapon. And if we elect Mitt Romney, if you elect me as the next president, they will not have a nuclear weapon.
Why did you accept the endorsement
there are a lot of people
the
that
Mass
endorse
Citizens for Life?
I don't know about the endorsement of the Mass Citizens for Life. I didn't seek it. I didn't ask for it. When you say I accepted it, I didn't write them a letter and say, here, thank you very much for your endorsement.
Your spokesperson stated that you accepted their endorsement.
Shannon, I can tell you again, I did not in any way acknowledge their endorsement, nor do I. When you say I accept it, in what way did I accept it, Shannon?
Ask your campaign spokesperson.
I don't have a campaign spokesman here tonight. I'm here right now, and I can tell you, I do not. Take the position of a pro-life candidate. I'm in favor of preserving and protecting a woman's right to choose. And your effort to continue to try and create fear and deception here is unbecoming.
I was happy, and then your sister threw a sea fish at my TV. Hey, how are you? Cookies. Can I take one? Hey, thank you for the bench. Don't commit suicide. I will force spiders and badgers on the enemy and get them all to shut up. If Madonna married a real giant, that would be good. At least I think it would. Wait, no, it wouldn't, because never mind. Happy stepchild. I told you to check it out. Oh, hey, this is for the cow. In America, we have a song. Ding dong lamawani jumping with a nice pick. She thinks I'm going in. Save your herd. Did the princess seize my buddy's boat? Aye, Captain. I'm very good company. Be sure the pizza has an old fly in it. I didn't spend money on robotic things. I spend money on video games. We play pole position. It'd go beep, we'd go fast around the track. Man, it was a good game. Because if Madonna had a wooden statue, she just gobbled that sardine. We got Winona Ryder out there pissing off people with a guitar. They're a bunch of punks. Now you got me whispering to a freak who thinks that fish have menstrual cycles. I'm freezing out here. Gotta get away. Hey, Amy left your party, and I'm leaving at 3 to pick apples. Are you a math dork? Had pork chops and beans and put it in the freezer, and it rotted after a month. Yo mama's pudgy. Face it. I said, son, I don't want to hear you say bad about your mama. And then he said, prison. I'm a party rapper, that's how I am. Boy, these rappers and their beautiful Mexicans, gotta keep my mind free. Yo mama can eat me. Centurions from East Asia, near Mumbai, got my cooler, and they took my spider jars into prison. I said, I'm gonna let you do this. Let's just go out and shop and grease a big nickel. I'm a gremlin. I'm leaving the party. Now I want everyone to stuff the ice chest. Thank you.